Excuse me, could I come up and you guys explain to the camera about the locomotive?
Oh, just have a look now.
Yeah. I'm Kawe.
Oh, right. Tony.
Nice to meet you, Tony. Hi, Vic. Don't worry about cleaning your hands.
Yeah.
Kawe, nice to meet you.
Graham.
Graham. So you're the big boss. Would you better tell us how this locomotive operates?
So pretty much the basics is, this is like a big kettle. So you burn your coal in there, gets to about 800 degrees when it's quite hot. That coal fire boils the water inside this thing, which is a boiler, about 200 degrees. That steam then comes up, gets controlled by this throttle here, goes down the front, through into the cylinders. The cylinders are just like your car. They got a piston moving back and forth, steam pushes against them. That makes the whole thing go. And once it's used, then the steam shoots up the chimney, and there's one final thing. It's shot up in a jet, so that it creates a vacuum, which then pulls the air through the fire and starts the cycle again.
Neat. So you've got the controls here. What are the main pieces of components you need to use to get the train working?
So the important things are, of course, your throttle, just like your car's accelerator, reverser. So this here, that's forward. So that's pretty much first gear in your car. Then you've got, as you bring it further towards the centre, that's first, second, third, and so on. And all like that, that's reverse, and this is neutral. Now once we've got it going, we want to stop at some point. So we use this handle here, which controls the brakes on the whole train. And then we can also use this handle, which controls the brakes on the engine only.
Awesome. So that's your job. You've got the vital job of operating the locomotive. And what about you, my friend? What do you have to do to keep the things going?
Pretty much, you just got to keep the fire burning. So there's a bit of an art in it. Keep an evenly spread fire there.
Yeah.
Just so you have the heat to be drawn through the boiler to make the steam. It depends on your steam demand, how hard you're working, how hot you want the fire to burn.
Yeah.
A steam engine is, or locomotive more so, it's pretty good that as it works harder, it draws the fire through more. So the harder it works, the harder it can work, which very few other machinery is like that.
Now you've got a lot of controls on your side. Can you just give us a brief explanation about what all these are?
Yeah, sure. We've got here is your main injector. It's a live steam injector,
Yeah.
which uses steam from the boiler to get water from a low pressure source into the atmosphere into the boiler, back against that same pressure. Here is a blower, which is blasts quite a little jets of steam up the funnel. So when we're stationary like this, we don't have the fire coming back.
Yeah.
If I turn it off there, we get it coming back at us.
Oh, that's smoky.
And then up above it, we've got the steam to another injector. All locomotives have to have at least two means of getting water in the boiler. The water is the most important thing. So that just works slightly differently, except it uses exhaust steam. And then you've got some other controls that just turn on various other auxiliaries around the locomotive.
Wow. So how much ton of coal would you have used today from this morning?
From this morning to now, we might have used 1.25 tons maybe.
Ton and a quarter, is that it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. How do young guys like you get behind driving steam locomotives?
Well, I started about 8 years ago. I'm local, came here and every weekend and every spare holiday I had was working on the things. Once you're old enough, and I think at the time was 15 or something, I was able to jump on the roster and you just work your way up. So you've got 3 positions in the engine, the cleaner, the fireman and the driver, and you just work your way up through the ranks. After a few years on each, and then you've got to show competency and experience to move up to the next level.
And what about you, Mr. Locomotive Engineer?
Yeah, so pretty much did the same thing as Graham over here. I joined up about 6 years ago. Just interest in mechanical things and workshops and all that. And yeah, started off as a cleaner, just like that fella over there. And as a cleaner, you get taught the job of firing. So you learn that skill, and after a while you get tested and someone jumps on the engine with you. And if you do well enough, you get the okay, and then you become a fireman. Once you're a fireman, you get used to the locomotives and yeah, become pretty good at firing. You start learning to drive. And now again, this is like more or less an apprenticeship. You just get turns driving until someone jumps in the cab with you, has a look around and says, yep, I'm happy with you, you can go and sit your driver's test. And that's where I'm now, and so is Graham over there.
So you both can drive the locomotive, you both can fire it, you both can clean it.
Yep.
So you're basically jacks of all trades.
Pretty much. So you work your way up, but you don't lose your skills. But it's loads of fun just firing, but it's also loads of fun driving. So most drivers, unless they get really old where the job of firing is just too demanding for them, will actually fire and drive and are on the roster. So you might have 2 drivers on an engine like today, or you might have just a fireman and a driver on.
So can you imagine you guys volunteering here for the rest of your lives?
I'd like to say yes. Yeah, I can see so many projects I'd like to see happen, locomotives and stuff we've got when the shed's going one day. It's just the upkeep of what we've got's really hard. It would be good if we could get more volunteers and stuff coming through to really help things along. It's just a hard job keeping what we've got going.
Totally.
But yeah, I'd like to one day see it all, some other things going, so I probably would be here for a long time.
Awesome.
My life, but
And if more guys want to become volunteers, who would they have to get in contact with?
The best way to do that would be to look up gvr.co.nz. So that's the website for us, Limerick Railway, and you'll find the contact details there on who to ring. And yeah, pretty much it's a case of chewing up here with some steel caps, some overalls, and start learning the trade.
Well, hey, awesome. Thank you very much for showing us around the locomotive. It's been a real pleasure.
No worries.
And may I ask, I'm going to be down at Morley Road when you come back empty service. Could you do a crazy whistle tune down there?
Oh, yep.
Oh, awesome. Thank you much, Lee.